Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be here today. So hopefully this video works and everything goes smoothly. So for the relative valuation, specifically the ratio analysis, here's a quick snapshot of the key ratios from 2017 to 2014, which Medtronic's fiscal year actually closed in April of 2017 compared to the peers who have only completed 3 quarters of their 2017 fiscal year. So for our peer groups, we calculated their ratios using their trailing 12-month values, and we felt like that would be the most accurate way to compare the companies considering their Medtronic's fiscal year had already closed. And so here's a snapshot of the ratios we calculated. You can refer to page 6 in the report for a closer look at those. And a highlight for Medtronic is their current debt ratio. Their 4-year average debt ratio of 49.07% beats the combined peer average of 53.29% over the 4 years. Although Johnson & Johnson's 4-year average does beat Medtronic's, the 3 peer groups as a combined average, Medtronic is leading. But this is important because this allows Medtronic to further invest in growth and finance opportunities for themselves and the company and for shareholders while staying under the debt line, the debt ratio compared to their peers. Another key ratio for Medtronic that contributes to their success is their current operating margin. Their 4-year average of 15.30% is second to the peer group and is still beating the average industry. The most recent margin growth from 2017 to 2016 of 10.49% really shows the success and the growth opportunities that Medtronic has created in recent years. These higher margins lead to increased profits to the company and to shareholders. With increased operating margins, obviously leads to increased profits and leads to shareholder wealth. The only peer group that Medtronic does fall behind is Johnson & Johnson. Although Johnson & Johnson does have a wide variety of product compared to Medtronic, but I do believe that Medtronic is on the right track to approach Johnson & Johnson with this operating margin with their most recent growth of 10.49%, which really shows how well and how respected a company they are with how old and how successful Johnson & Johnson has been in the recent history. Another key stat for Medtronic is their days sales and inventory. Their 4-year average days sales and inventory is 78.25 days, beats the peer group and the industry average. And in 2017, Medtronic's days sales and inventory were just 68.69 days. This allows Medtronic to keep holding costs low and allows them to turn inventory into profit quickly. Although their days in inventory is rather low compared to the peer group and the industry, as long as Medtronic can continue to provide for its customers and turn this inventory into cash faster, it is a positive ratio for them. Here's a little ratio analysis from Excel. Out of the 52 ratios calculated, Medtronic beats the peers in 67% of the categories. So how we calculated this is an X is a is trailing to the peers in that year, and a hyphen is beating the peers average for that year. And as you can see, in 2017, Medtronic trailed the peer group in current ratio, quick ratio, PEG ratio, ROA, and ROE. Although ROA and ROE have been on the incline for the past couple of years. And then with that, Medtronic saw a dip in the current ratio and quick ratio, but only trails slightly behind the peer group. As you can see on page 5 in the report, if you want to take a closer look at that. And then the other laggard that might be questioned is the PEG ratio for this year. That is due to the relative high because of the 16.53% increase in earnings per share from 2016 to 2017. With that 2.4 PEG ratio, the industry average is 2.1. So they're not far behind the industry average, but that large increase in earnings per share in 2017 is the main cause of that. While they did see a dip in earnings per share in 2015, it has been on a steady incline since then. So moving on to our relative valuation, we have a average price estimate of $99.54. That is excluding the price to book value, which I'll get to in a moment, and why we excluded that. And then for all of our calculations, we used a 3-year average growth rate. This is because of the acquisition of Covidian, and I think the 3-year average is more accurate because of the large acquisition. This allowed for a more accurate reading of the current operations in business. The numbers from 2014 to 2015, the difference in values and growth was substantially different, and our group felt that these values didn't show an accurate estimate with the different values and growth for those. So for the first one, I'll explain a little bit more in depth for the price to book value. Price estimates calculated by using 3-year average growth of book value per share. Like I said, the acquisition of Covidian greatly increased the value in just 1 year. The 3-year growth of 58.57% used in this calculation. And like I said, the Covidian acquisition was so large. The book value per share for has been on a steady, it's flattened out since the acquisition, but the 3-year average really showed a large difference compared to the other estimates. So that's why that $155 price estimate we did not weigh very heavily because of the large difference in book value per share and the large growth there. For the PE ratio, it was our most conservative because of the EPS declining from 3.02 to 2.41 from 2014 to 2015. But EPS has returned to 2.89 in 2017, which is why you see the EPS growth rate of 0.87% used there, which leads us to the most conservative estimate of $86.73. So for price to cash flow estimates, we used 2 different methods. One was the historical operating cash flow growth, resulting in an estimate of $106.84. And the 3-year average growth was 12.38%, which leads us to the $106 valuation. And then our second method was the ROE times the payout ratio growth, resulting in an estimated price of $98.77. We used a 3-year average of ROE of 6.61% calculated there, and we used the most recent payout ratio of 2017 to get us at the 58.99% to reach that $98.77 estimate. Both estimates we did feel were fairly accurate, although we did believe that with that jump in ROE with the most recent year, we felt like the more accurate and consistent method of estimation for the price was the historical OCF growth. And then price to sales, which is our most weighted estimate of $107.60. Although this is one of the more aggressive calculations, we believe this is the most accurate in estimating the price of Medtronic shares. For the 3-year average growth was 21.50%, which is a large number, but this is why we believe it's the most accurate, is because it's been the most consistently growing ratio they have. After the acquisition of Covidian, we saw a slight increase, but we've seen a steady increase with their increasing in technology and their constant idea to increase their production in new products and to change the medical world. That's why I believe the revenue growth will stay consistent and follow that growth trend, and that's why we believe the $107.60 estimate is the most accurate. While I go back to the 5 estimates that we do have, all of our estimates, besides the book value, which I explained why we are kind of throwing that one, not completely out, but ruling that estimate out, but the Morningstar fair value of $99 falls right in line with all of our estimates. So we believe we have fairly accurate price estimates here. So again, sorry guys I couldn't be here. Hopefully that cleared up some questions about the relative valuation, and thank you.